Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author AuthorASnorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15, as we normally do on Wednesdays, about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take a couple minutes. We take no more than about 15 minutes to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or audio books, close out with some announcements and updates, and then get you on your way. As you guys know, when life is happening, sometimes you cannot wait until the end of the day or the beginning of the next day for that moment to pause and pick me, get your pause and pick me up. And that includes me too. I need to slow it down and go sit down somewhere every once in a while. So I appreciate you all joining me today and making sure to like, comment, inbox, share, repost, all that, and then some. So the best ways to stay connected with me are on Instagram, AuthorASnorton. When you click on the link in the bio, it takes you to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. And then once you click on the link in the bio, which is my Linktree, you can navigate through and add, follow, read, share accordingly. So that includes the newsletter, which comes out once every 2 weeks, all the social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, the archival editions of the Conversation Corner of the Status Network, Lens to Pens podcast in collaboration with Emery Rose Photography, any articles, news, updates, and of course, a good way to find out about getting a bag of really good coffee, the AuthorASnorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee. So thank each and every one of you for liking, sharing, reposting, commenting, all that type of thing. So before we get into our topic of the day, I'm going to enjoy a sip of really good coffee. As you saw, I'm enjoying the bourbon infused. Definitely worth it. So hold on. So remember, we have a decaf, which is more of a dark roast, light, medium, and bourbon infused. So I'll make sure to remind you guys of that before we close out. So before we get into our unit or lesson or selection from the day, as you guys know, I always take time to kind of pause. We know that life is lifing, and some people are going through some challenges. Personally, there's a couple of people who I'm personally acquainted with who have transitioned recently. So I want to acknowledge my fraternity brother, John Hanna, who recently transitioned, and then late last night, early this morning, noble Greek, noble frater of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Darius Wimby, also known as Big D, transitioned. And we definitely want to extend words of encouragement and condolences to the immediate extended family, fraternity brothers, colleagues, things and whatnot. But the same goes for anybody who's dealing with the transition of a loved one. Definitely, prayers, condolences, and encouragement. Or someone who's just going through a rough time. Shoot, it's not always easy. We know this. Life is not always easy, and it's not always, roses. It can be worse than that. So, but to anyone who's going through something, just extending words of encouragement, condolences. Take the time you need to kind of pause, reboot, and identify positive and constructive ways to build yourself up, but not tearing others down as best as possible. On the flip side, we know there's people doing extremely well, people who have had safe travels. Look, getting to your destination safely, that is a blessing. To think, positive things in their place of work, with their physical health, their mental health, other projects. So if that sounds like you or someone you know who is going through a positive time, we want to congratulate you. Definitely take time to celebrate, but don't overdo it, because we need you to save your energy for what's next. And let's not forget those who might not be doing so well. So those are just some reminders and words of encouragement. So we're going to go to our topic of the day. So our topic comes from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. All the quotes, with the exception of one, are original quotes from yours truly. One I actually borrowed from my grandmother. But deeper than the deep thought is the logic and rationale behind it, as well as a space for you to journal whether you agree, whether you disagree, you want to go in a deeper direction or another direction. We ultimately know some of the things that you put in your head when they take residency are going to show up in some way, shape, or form. So we just have to be conscious of what we're feeding, between our left and right ears. In addition to what we're feeding this belly right here. Well, my stomach's kind of lean, so I'm doing all right. So here's a quote that I like to use from time to time again, and it's definitely applicable when I think to some people who have recently transitioned. So here it goes. The size of your platform is important, but what's more important is understanding you have one. Use it accordingly, and you never know what impact you can make. So let me repeat that one more time. The size of your platform is important, but what's most important is understanding you have one. Use it accordingly, and you never know what impact you can make. So one of the first people that comes to mind is our noble frater of a Phi Beta Sigma, Darius Wimby. For people who knew him, he wasn't just big in regards to his height, but he was big in regards to his presence and what he was able to do as an educator at McNair High School, what he was able to do through the auspices of his fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and just in general, like, just one of those people that once you met him, it was hard to forget him. Like, seriously, I think that's the best way to describe it. Once you met him, it was hard to forget him. And some of us know those type of people. Like, you meet him one time, and it's like they just have a presence that fills the room. They have a presence that just draws so many people from different walks of life. And those people are definitely blessings, but he used his platform to speak to areas of concern within education or areas of concern within the community. And I think of what all of us have the capacity to do, especially in the technology area and social media world. It's easy to get a message out there, but you want to be clear and cognizant of the messages you are sending out. So when you think about things regarding equity and justice and I'll say fair play and addressing wrongs that have been ongoing, I think about the unfortunate situation in Missouri yesterday where, and the gentleman's name, please forgive me on that, escapes me, but there was compelling evidence that showed maybe he was not the person who committed the crime, and even the person who was victimized, the family of the person who was victimized, is like, he shouldn't be executed. So there's so many things that it's like, use your platform and use it for the greater good, not just for personal gain, but use it for the greater good. And I'm not talking about the greater good just in regards to maintaining stuff, but to making things better. So whether it's through the lens of gender, whether it's through the lens of ethnic background, whether it's the lens of preference, of access, we think about our special needs community. Let's see what we can do to get things closer to right, because otherwise we're going to get closer to wrong. And we can do bad by ourselves. Let's see what we can do to do a little bit better with our platforms. So that's the message of the day from Quotes and Notes. Something's on the horizon. Pick it up from any of your favorite bookstores. If your favorite bookstore does not have it, make sure to request it. Yes, you can get it online, but please, let's try to support, our local bookstores. So a couple of quick things before we wind down. Many thanks to Black Dot Cultural Center for the authors talk that I was able to do this past Saturday, and special thanks to Dr. Erica Macon for really helping make that happen. So shouts to those two entities. I am excited. The next confirmed book signing, the next confirmed authors talk is going to take place Saturday, October 26th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in Raleigh, North Carolina at Bowes, B-E-O-W-S, Bowes Books and Brews. So I'm really excited to be there. This will be my first time being in Raleigh since my debut in 2017. So I'm long overdue for being up in Raleigh. So if you live in Raleigh, Cary, Durham, any of the interlocking and surrounding areas, make sure to check us out. Shouts to my colleague Jazzy B for Real, who will be moderating. So if you're not familiar with her, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. She has high energy, high intellect, just a great spirit. She's done work with me with covering different events. That includes the Alpha Derby weekend with the Alphas of Atlanta. She's done official events with the BET Awards, the Super Bowl when it was in Vegas. Like, she's awesome. So you want to make sure to check it out. So we'll end up posting that flyer tomorrow. We'll post it tomorrow and then go ahead and go from there. Thanks to all the independent bookstores, college bookstores, book clubs, readers, all that type of thing. Many thanks for your support. It is definitely appreciated. Shouts to my team with Fonte's Coffee with the amazing work with the AuthorASnorton blend. This is actually our the end of October will be our second year. So again, I'm enjoying the bourbon infused. We have a decaf, light, and medium roast as well. So make sure to check that out. trying to think if there's any other events coming up. I'll just go ahead and say it, November 2nd, and you'll start seeing the info coming out shortly. November 2nd from 12 to 3 p.m., join me at Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. So excited to always do something there. Shouts to Marcus Williams doing amazing work as the bookstore in Clayton County. Speaking of Clayton County, shouts to Life with Shanita, as the second edition of An Elegant Evening of Jazz is taking place on Sunday, October the 6th at Spivey Hall on the campus of Clayton State. So you want to make sure to check that out. Last year's inaugural edition was last July. This year, October the 6th. So if you're a fan of jazz, live music, and a portion of the proceeds will be donated to the jazz ensemble and the jazz-related programs at Mount Zion High School, you definitely want to check it out. So check out Life with Shanita on Facebook and check out An Elegant Evening of Jazz. That'll be on the website for Spivey Hall. So just type in Spivey Hall, Clayton State University. Go to the website. Go ahead and get your ticket or two. Make sure, get your haircut and you know what I'm talking about. You know what to do. Try to see if there's anything else that's happening. Again, just general thanks to each and every one of you for liking, adding, sharing, supporting, subscribing, reposting, all that, and then some. So if there aren't any other things that are taking place, I always thank each and every one of you for taking time to join us. And we have Alpha Ump joining us as we're getting ready to wind down. Make sure to check out Alpha Ump, an amazing person doing some tremendous work in education as a lead administrator. I'm going to use the term lead administrator, but a great person, great resource. Make sure to check him out and check out the work that he's doing at his respective high school for volunteer opportunities, things of that nature. Linden640, thank you so much for taking time out. If y'all, when I'm calling out these IG handles, if this is your first time hearing about them, check them out, see what they're doing, and support the good things that they're doing. So definitely want to shout out to Alpha Ump, doing some great work as the lead administrator for one of the high schools in Metro Atlanta. Linden640 doing some creative things as well. I'll admit I need to hop back on and check out what Linden640 is doing, but make sure to check them out and definitely make sure to speak life into them and encouragement into them. So as we get ready to wind down, as I'm going to wear my educator hat in about 5 minutes as I have to do a virtual ACT session. I don't know how these students do it. Like, hey, we've got breaks during the day. Our high school didn't operate like that. But, couple of things as we get ready to wind down again. Make sure to stay connected with me, AuthorASnorton on Instagram. Click on the link in the bio, navigate through, and subscribe to any of the stuff on the social media, the website, the newsletter, the coffee brand, the coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, the archival editions of the Conversation Corner on the Status Network, and a few other things. Make sure to check out Lens Depends. That's LENS, the number 2, PENS. That's the podcast series that I'm doing with Emery Rose Photography. So make sure to check out Emery Rose Photography on Instagram. Trying to see if there's anything else. I'm sure there's something, so I'll post it at some point. But shouts again to Alpha Ump for joining us. Shouts again to Linden640 for joining us. Like I said, check them out and check out the good work that they're doing professionally, community-wise, and otherwise. And again, like I said before, prayers, condolences, and encouragement to those who have lost somebody, due to that type of life transition or going through it. For me, it's special shouts to the family, friends, loved ones, and noble Greeks, noble fraters of Phi Beta Sigma regarding Darius Wimby, and for my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, for John Hanna, who are among those who are with the ancestors. So on that note, extending love, peace, blessings, well wishes, encouragement, speaking life into those who need it. And as I always say, and I know I flipped the order around, but you guys kind of know where I'm going. Whether it's slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, victory is a victory. So keep it moving, keep it victorious. I'm going to throw in keep it humorous too, because I just got real excited. It happens. But anyway, excited to connect with you guys. Until next time, seriously, all of you, take very good care. Peace and blessings. I look forward to seeing you all real soon. All right, take care, y'all.